Hey everybody, welcome back to a new video. It's Mike here with Mike's Drones and More, and we're doing our weekly Q&A. I tried to get through all the questions that people had posted, the ones that I thought were good to be able to use on the weekly. Just to kind of give you guys a follow-up to the video that I did on Thursday with the fly egg. That was the one that I was flying, and that was the video I did with the drone failure. So a lot of people asked me how expensive it was to fix. So I'm working on the fix right now. I've got a motor on order from GearBest. So the stock motors run about $10 on their website, and it's actually really pretty easy to replace those motors. They're not that hard at all. So they're only like $10 for a motor, so that's not too bad. Although I am going to upgrade those motors, I'm probably going to get something different with vented, because those are non-vented motors, and so they tend to kind of get a little bit warm. Plus maybe get a little bit more performance. So we'll see about that. And a lot of people asked me what kind of receiver it was. So I didn't want to say, because I didn't want to give bad information, but the receiver that was on there was just an older Futaba receiver. Futaba is still really great. They make great stuff. It's just for some reason that one failed. I don't know why it failed. I'm not sure, but I've already replaced it, and I put on a FrSky. So once I get the motor and get that soldered on, then I'll test it back out. And of course, I'm using my Taranis QX7 with that as well. So yeah, I'll do like a quick video and show you guys how to replace the motor on it. Like I said, it's really super easy. It's not hard at all. So let's see, the race drone is complete. So I hope you guys liked that video. It has been really rainy and cold out here in Colorado for the last couple days, so I haven't had a chance actually yet to get it out and fly it, but I was able to get it all programmed up into Betaflight. So everything is good to go in Betaflight, and I am waiting on a new battery and a charger to come in, so that way I can get that going there. Yeah, so I can't wait to get that guy out in the park and kind of rip it around and show you guys and see how it performs and things like that. So there's going to be a lot more FPV stuff coming to the channel, just because I'm trying to get more into the FPV, but I'm still going to be doing the toy grade stuff. I'll still be doing stuff with my Phantom, because that's my drone business. I just thought I'd kind of mix it up and throw some more stuff in there for you guys. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, and I got some new reviews coming. I've got 2 drones coming and a new action camera coming this week. Hopefully I'll get them by Wednesday or Thursday, so hopefully I can get those reviews out for you, and hopefully the weather holds up for me. That way I can actually like fly, because it's supposed to be like rainy pretty much all week long until next Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so on to the questions. We had 4 questions. So the first question I actually already answered in the comments, but I kind of wanted to hit it with everybody else, because I thought it was a really good. So this question was asked by, and I hope I say your name right, Chon Martinez M. So he says, basically, I'm flying my Warrior drone for the first time tomorrow, and I'm assuming I should go to an open field, and I should start with headless mode. Is that right, Mike? So I definitely said, yes, definitely start out with a nice open field. You can start off with headless mode, which is fine, but I really suggest, and I've suggested to everybody, that you don't get hooked on using headless mode. Get used to just steering the drone around, because drone racing, any other drones, they don't use headless mode. So basically headless mode is just a real beginner's option for just learning how to control the quad so it doesn't get out of your line of sight or things like that. So it's really easy to control, but definitely don't get used to headless mode, because a lot of the professional drones, and like I said, the racing drones, they don't use headless mode. So that's a good tip for just anybody in general. So the next question came from Dwyn 1977able. So Dwinable. He said ProMark customer service has reached out to him and has really helped him, and they are getting better. So he's been in contact with somebody named Willie, and I think that's who I contacted at ProMark, because I was asking them. I was trying to get a review for you guys for that new Warrior drone I wanted to see, and then he got back with me and just basically told me that it's the same exact drone as the ProMark VR. The only difference is the camera is a little bit better on the VR version, and of course you get the the goggles, which are like, not that big of a deal. So anyway, thanks, Dwinable, for the update on that. Nick South, he said, ProMark brushless motor conversion, or where to buy replacements. So there is a brushless motor conversion kit that you can buy. It runs about $100, and it comes with basically the motors, the little flight board, I think, and but the problem with it, guys, is that it's meant for a SEMA controller now, or transmitter. So I don't know if that conversion kit will work or not with the ProMark, because remember, the ProMark is on a little bit different signal than the SEMA. I tried to hook up my SEMA with my ProMark and it didn't work. So I don't know if that kit will work or not. And honestly, in my honest opinion, I wouldn't do the conversion. It's going to be more of a pain than you realize, because it's not just replacing the motors, but you actually have to literally cut out the plastic for the motors to sit in and everything, and it's a huge project to take on. And honestly, save that $100 and put it towards a small racing drone, or save it up for something better. I mean, I don't know, just honestly, I wouldn't do it. I mean, you're just pouring more and more money into just a toy grade drone, and you'd be better off just waiting and buying something better. I mean, you can buy really nice racing drones on GearBest for like $120. I mean, save the money and buy something better. That's just my opinion. Nothing wrong with the ProMark. I love that drone. But, I just wouldn't spend a ton of money doing all the upgrades. Now, like the propellers and the landing gear that I did and the camera upgrade, like those little things are fine. But when you start getting into like the hundreds of dollars to do different conversions just on a toy grade drone, to me, it's not really worth it. Now, where you can buy extra motors, I'll try and put a little pop-up here. I did a video on a teardown of the actual ProMark, and I've got a link in my video where you can go and you can actually buy new motors. I think they cost like $16, and I got them right off of Amazon. You can buy them from eBay. You can get them on the GearBest website. I think you can get them on probably Banggood as well. So there's lots of places you can buy those motors. And watch my other video on the motor replacement, because on 2 of the motors you have to swap the wires because they all spin in the same direction, and the board is actually what tells it, which is kind of a little weird how they set their motors up over there at ProMark. So, Nick, I hope that answers your question. And the last question we got for today is from John C. He said, what truly makes the frequency on a drone remote control different? So, that's a good question. So, basically, every company has their own small frequency. Most all of them run on the 2.4 frequency, except for like your racing drones, they run on the 5.8 gigahertz, and that's usually just for the VTX, for the video transmission. Some of the more expensive drones, like the Phantoms, they'll have the 2.4 or the 5.8 gigahertz. They'll switch back and forth. And then, of course, DJI's got their own proprietary. They got Lightbridge, which is kind of like a 5.8 gigahertz, but it's a little bit different. It's their own frequency that they have. So that's kind of the difference. And like I said, every manufacturer usually uses their own individual specific band that they're going to use, but it's all in that 2.4 gigahertz transmission. So every company is different. Like I said, sometimes most of the SEMAs you can't hook up with anything else, or sometimes they'll have the SEMAs that, like the X8 can hook up, I think, to the X5 remote, and the X11 can hook up to the X5. So sometimes they make them backwards compatible. That's just how they do things there. So I hope that answers you guys' questions for this week. So guys, thanks for writing in the questions. I appreciate it. I'm going to ask you guys a favor. So if you have a question that you want answered on the weekly Q&A, if you will, in your question, put in here question for the weekly Q&A, or just maybe at the end of the question do hashtag Q&A for me, something like that. That way it stands out in the questions for me, so that way I know to jot it down and keep it safe, so that way the next week I can answer some more questions for you guys. So coming up this next week, like I said, I got some drone reviews coming up. I've got another action camera. I'm going to show you guys how to basically do basic programming in Betaflight. It's not really all that hard. And then hopefully, if the weather holds up and I get my batteries in time, I can finally go fly my racing drone, because I really want to get that sucker out and get it out there and do some more. So really looking forward to that. So thanks guys for all the questions. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it, guys. Without you guys watching and all the questions, there would be no channel. So again, big thank you to everybody. So that's all I have for this week, guys. So in the meantime, while you're waiting for the next video, let's keep our drones up in the air and flying high, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and have an awesome day. Bye for now.